Welcome back to GN Sports. We're 1 week away from the NFL free agency negotiation window. And when it comes to expectations for this year's Bears team, former Bears quarterback Jim Miller is emphasizing no more excuses for an organization beginning another year under another new head coach. I caught up with Jim at the NFL Combine as he shared his passionate plea to the organization to not fail another QB. It's tonight's Gimme 5, brought to you by Xfinity.
Really excited about what could be the growth of Caleb Williams. You know, it was interesting talking to Dan Campbell, the head coach of the Detroit Lions, and even Brad Holmes. They elected to give Jared Goff a new contract because his play had elevated. He had gotten better when they made that trade with the Rams and how he arrived at the Lions. And at times the turnovers were great, and Dan Campbell kind of called the quarterback out. And since then, he's played lights out. So Ben Johnson really raised the level of play of the quarterback position for the Lions, and I think why they feel excited that Ben can do the same thing for Caleb Williams. Certainly they got to do a lot of things around him. They got to fix the offensive line. They got to get the players around him, but it really is about that position. He's got to play a lot better. There were too many sacks last year. I think he's willing. I think he's worthy. I think he's talented enough to do that as a quarterback. And Ben Johnson, obviously, with what he's done in Detroit, he knows the division. He knows how to attack the defenses, and that's even the Lions. You know, granted, Aaron Glenn has moved on to the Jets, but he kind of knows the inner workings of what, you know, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are trying to do. But so Jeff Hafley, the defense coordinator from Green Bay, Brian Flores, he knows how to attack those defenses because he knows the players. So it's going to be a good, beneficial, I think, a win-win for both.
We've heard a lot about how Ben Johnson's so creative, right? He's such an intelligent football mind and especially a play caller. But he also has to adapt the scheme and what he's going to bring into the personnel that he has. Do you think that's something that's been lacking in Chicago?
Let's just say the playbook in Detroit won't be coming to Chicago. Do you want to know why? Because the Bears don't have those type of players. Okay, they just don't have them. They don't have Penei Sewell. They don't have Frank Ragnow. They don't have Taylor Decker. Even the receivers, the Bears don't have them. Maybe Rome Odunze, he may be the lone starter on the Bears offense that actually could start up in Detroit. Everybody else has got to go. Until they have those type of players, that playbook is going to be a different playbook than what the Lions are running.
Obviously, they have needs on both offensive line and defensive line. If you're GM Ryan Poles, how are you prioritizing? Because you need to get the O-line fixed, right, for that offense, for Ben Johnson's offense to come to life in year two for Caleb Williams. But you can't neglect the D-line. So how would you approach free agency in this draft?
Yeah, I think they're going to have to be selective. I mean, there are two ways to go about it. I mean, some teams will just focus on free agents on the offensive side of the ball where you can get pretty good quickly, you know, and they probably need to do that on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, it could be a draft and develop type of situation. So you can invest in one side of the ball, free agency, and then build the other. The defense, I think, still has a lot of good pieces to the puzzle. Love the secondary, love the linebackers. Like you said, maybe could add one or two on the defensive front, but that's minimal. So if it's one free agent or one draft and develop guy, I think you'd be pretty happy with that.
As Caleb Williams goes into his sophomore season with a new head coach, new play caller, new offense once again, what things does he need to work on? What does he need to iron out to have a smoother, more successful year two?
Yeah, I was very upset how it worked out. You know, here you go through this draft process. Shane Waldron's your guy, and 9 weeks later, this marriage has already failed, and that's has failed the young quarterback. And all of Chicago cannot make excuses anymore. Okay, the excuses are done. You can't throw 3 first-round draft pick quarterbacks to the curb. You did it with Mitch Trubisky. You talked Justin Fields out of town. Enough. Get it right and get it done and play winning football. That's what needs to be done. They need to get the quarterback right, and I think Ben Johnson is the right guy to do it.
And finally, is this a playoff team this year? Should it be?
That's up to them. They got to put in the work. You know, I think you saw with the Washington Commanders what they were able to do with the rookie quarterback. You know, that's a pretty talented young man, you know, that's there. And again, they brought in a lot of guys that were veterans on the offensive side of the ball to bring him along. Tyler Biadasz, that's a free agent center. They signed from Dallas. Dan Quinn knows him well. Go look at the other O-linemen. Same thing. Other players that they added. So they need to give the young quarterback pieces to the puzzle, stop the shakeups, learning new offenses and all that. It needs to be solidified. That is going to help out Caleb Williams. And, of course, I love Caleb just like I did Justin. I love his toughness. I like his work ethic. I think he's a very talented young man, but the organization, he needs support. He needs support. It can't just be on his own. And I think Jaden Daniels had that support, and Caleb needs that support in Chicago.
JP, you heard the man. No more excuses, right? I totally agree with Jim when he's talking about no more shakeups, no more change. That's just going to hurt another developing young quarterback, especially in only year 2. Look what Caleb's already seen in year 1. So I think he's right on the mark with understanding this needs to be a playoff team. It needs to have the expectation that they should be a playoff team because they're not that far away, right? Because now they have the belle of the ball, Ben Johnson, coming in with this playbook as the new head coach of this team and ready to take control of the offense. But are you a believer, JP? Are you too out on the excuses?
Yeah, I think it's time. Listen, the McCaskies have been hearing us talk about this for a long time. Everybody voicing their opinions. I'm in that conversation as well. Listen, they got the guy now. This is Ben Johnson is who everybody wanted. The Bears wanted him. Ben wanted the Chicago Bears. It's the perfect marriage. Now, if it doesn't work out, which I think it's going to work out. I think it's going to be a nice little marriage. It's going to take some time. But yeah, I think now it's on no more excuses anymore. And you got the quarterback that has all the talent in the world, and now is trying to hone him around. Last year, though, they crashed and burned in his rookie season. Not having the right people around him for him to be successful, putting too much on his plate as a rookie coming in. I think they need to tighten the screws down a little bit, and I think that's what Ben's going to do. And the guys that he brought in around this organization, they're going to tighten the screws down a little bit, take that leash a little bit. It's going to be shortened. I think the leash was a little bit too long for Caleb in year 1, my opinion.
Quick yes or no before I go to break. Khalil Mack back in Chicago?
No, it's not going to happen.
Okay, you heard it here first.
To me, that's the old regime.
I agree.
That's old regime.
Old Bears.
Old Bears.
Let's not go backwards.
And I love Khalil Mack.
Keep it moving.
Keep it moving. You can find someone else, but that offensive line definitely has to be addressed in the right way, and that's what I'm looking forward to seeing them do.